Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com with another one of our instructional videos we want to show you. We do like making these things just as raw and basic as can be because a lot of people are learning their tips and hints and how to do things on the water. What we're going to be talking about today is transitions, how to get transitioning from one direction to the other. A lot of people come in and say, Jeff, how do I do this? How do I stay up on the board, not lean back in the water and start all over again? Well, I'm going to give you some key points of that. Now, needless to say, instruction is by using a stick and everything else here, and we've got the Hulk again. He's always my good helper with his board. Started doing a little delamination there. I'll have to do a little gluing on him, but he's back and ready to start teaching you how to get your transitions down. So you'll understand, you'll see things how I move the kite, and you'll see how I use the Hulk in the board positioning and everything else. So we'll go down here and we'll show you the wind direction and what we have down here. We're going to be showing you, you can see the direction of the wind and where your relation to your kite and where everything is. You can understand this. You're probably talking about the center of the wind zone, the neutral position of your kite and everything else. So let's start down to the basics. Now, a transition, what you're wanting to do is learn to ride, and the first step would be just the change of direction, staying up on your board. Now, in this, again, if you're in light wind type conditions, timing of this is very important too, and it may drop it down. The most important thing is the timing and the location of the kite and where it is. Don't be afraid of that power. Today's kites are easy to depower, pushing the bar away. It's not as important because you can push it away, but it is knowing the position of that kite to power back up and get your motion back going. So everything has to go into a fluid motion. So let's talk about it here. What you're wanting to do is, let's say we're going in this direction, and as we're going along, now your goal is to get to the point where you're riding along, you're pulling away from the kite. Now what you're wanting to do is start bringing the kite up. Now keep it in motion. The most important thing, a lot of people will come up, they'll start focusing more on their board, they'll forget about the kite. Now the kite's just in center. You do change the direction of your board, but now what? Now you just fall back because now you're not generating more power in the other direction that you're going. So, in the first stage of your transition, without jumping or any kind, is keep your speed going as you're skipping along here. Keep that speed up, start bringing your kite up. Now keep that kite in motion. Now what you want to do is start shifting weight to the back foot. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get into a slide, keep that kite going, drop it down into that power just like you're starting to take off again. Again, I'm going to show this. You're going along with all your power. Slowly start bringing your kite up. Start turning away from your kite, getting ready to shove some of the weight to that back foot. Keep that kite in motion, bringing it up and over. Now when it starts to pull, drop it down and bring it up just like you're starting again, and that's going to get your speed and keep you up on that board. Now as you come across in this position, understand bringing that kite up and over. Now when the kite is in this position, it's lifting your weight on that board. A lot of people don't understand that when that kite is anywhere from 45 degrees and higher, it's decreasing the weight on your board. That's what you need. More weight on your board makes your rail hold and makes your fins hold. So as you're riding along, bringing that kite up starts reducing the weight on that board, makes it kind of almost in a free float. Turn away, weight shift, get your weight, then once you start in motion, get your weight back on the back side of it, drop the kite down in position, and keep working it to gain that speed again. So everything is keeping the fluid motion of the kite. If it stops, you stop. So don't be afraid of that. Now, the next transition, let's say, oh, I've already passed this point. I want to learn how to maybe do a little jump in this transition and change my positioning. Now, the main thing to understand is to make it and do it easy without pounding yourself is when you bring that kite up, as soon as it comes up and it's about the center of the neutral position is when you want to whip it and pop it back the other direction. If you do pull it too fast up and over from the other direction, it's going to actually give you a kick and lift you up and over, and you'll probably fall on there, and that's kind of hard. So remember, cruise along, bring that kite up to neutral. As soon as it gets up almost to neutral, pop the kite back, and that's going to give you just a little pop off the water. Reposition your weight though, because a lot of people will get pulled off their edge and go in the other direction. So bring it up to center, then pull it. And that's going to pop you up, you're dropping it down, and you're going to land back in the direction and start working your kite again. Remember, working that kite, that's going to give you that power. Now if you don't want the power, simply push away on the bar. That's what a lot of people, they'll just hang on to it, trying to stabilize themselves on this board. But remember, if you got too much, push away and land out smoothly. The next thing is going to get you in a transition. The next step a lot of people ask me is how to do a back loop kite transition. It's not hard. It's very, very simple. So getting that transition, again, you're coming up with your power. The first thing is you have to learn and understand how to do that little bit of back loop that you have to spin you around to come back down to land in the other way. But this is called a kite, a back roll transition, and it's very simple. So keep that kite up, you bring it up to center, start turning away, and as you turn away, remember, keep turning this kite. You have to commit. So as you come back around and come in to land it, that kite is in position to pull you. So if you will see, all of these transitioning, it's very, very important of the kite positioning. It has to be pulling you in the motion. You're going to stall out if you come up, put the kite up and you focus on your board to go the other way, your kite's not there to pull you. Drop it back down. Commit to it. So bring the kite up, over the other direction, and it's ready to pull, and you skip away, taking off in the other way. So it is a lot of importance is that kite positioning to continue generating the power. Always understand that if you're at a standpoint, you're only going to get power if you move the kite. You have no apparent wind built up in motion. So that's the big thing. You'll see all these guys jump up and do transitions because they remain in motion. They're going very fast. It pops them up, and then they float it out and drop it back in the other direction. But your first stage, always learn it in steps. Nail your standard transitions. Understanding how you bring the kite up and over and go the other way. Transferring your weight to the back and go the other way. Next is a little bit of air. The faster you bring that kite up, stall it for a second, drop it back into the other direction. So practice these little steps, and then we're going to start teaching you how to do that back loop, and then it's going to get you into a loop transition, which is a lot of fun. So practice these, and we'll be back with you on the next video to show you the back loop and get you into those the back loop transitions. I'm almost mistakenly saying a kite loop transition, but that'll be another one we'll get you into. So Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com giving you the hints and tips. Make sure to send us an email so we can get you learning what you want to learn. Send it to us. We'll be happy to help you at info@kiteboarding.com.